What is up, everybody? Welcome back. It has been a really long time since I streamed. I apologize for that. It's just a lot been going on, and at the end of the day, I'm just so tired, and I feel like I don't want to half-ass it, force it, or anything like that. So I took a break, give you guys a break from me, and hopefully we come back and distance makes the hearts grow fonder, right? So I wanted to start today off a little different. I want to do a 2022 year in review. So let me open up my my spreadsheet here. I have a spreadsheet so that I can easily navigate here. And let me make sure I can see the chat in case anybody's chiming in. Let me open up my my documents here. And cool. So yeah, I just wanted to go through I guess 2022 in regards to, you know, the stream, of course, video games in general, which is a big hobby of mine. And you know, some of the plans that I have for 2023, again, in real life and in the streaming world. So let's see. I guess we should just get right into it. Start talking about some of the things that we did this year. 2022. Sorry, excuse me. I've been not losing my voice, but my voice has been a little bit gravelly lately. I don't know. It's like the moisture in the air or something like that. I don't know what's causing it, but every once in a while I got to clear my throat is all. 2022 was a pretty wild year, I guess, in gaming. I feel like the floodgates opened up all the games that got delayed in 2020, you know, from COVID, and there were other shortages like microchip shortages and all that stuff. All that stuff got created delays in games and hardware and everything like that. And I feel like this year everything started coming back in like kind of full swing again. Especially with Sony. I think Sony was pretty quiet during COVID, and now it looks like they're kind of back into their thing, because I guess Sony is more of the what do? They do those games that are more like really large movie-like experiences, right? Like those you know, your God of War, your Death Stranding, your Horizon Zero Dawn, all that stuff, like Metal Gear and everything. That was always like kind of Sony's MO, right? They would always have like the big production value, almost like a movie. So I guess that's why they got delayed. However, I got to admit, I haven't played as many games as I wanted to. The reason being, and here's another kind of explanation as to why the streams kind of slowed down a bit. I got into this thing where, like, when I first started streaming, it was kind of like, you know, I'm going to stream, you know, 5 nights a week, sometimes 6 nights a week, you know, because it was like something new. It was something I was really like really geeked into it, really into it. And that allowed me to really set goals and hit my goals. You know, it would be like, I'm going to play, you know, 5 games a month, and I'm going to play an RPG, and I'm going to speed run and all that stuff. And as time went on, and I got more into like the community aspect of the streaming, because I watched some of my streams, and there was a bit of quantity over quality. You know, I would be live every day, but it would just be me like talking about the game, not really doing much, with the exception of a few things. I noticed I was really happy when I was playing certain games, you know, and I'm gonna try and focus my energy more on those, and I'm gonna try to play less of the games that I think people want to see, and more of the games that I can sit down and enjoy playing. Obviously, Doom is one of the easiest games for me to sit down and play, have a good time, and talk to everybody. Right. So Doom is definitely staying on the menu. Um, Final Fantasy is a tricky one. Final Fantasy is another game that I love, and I love to play all the time. However, it's an RPG. It's a heavy story, and usually like some sort of combat and some sort of system in place that if you take too much time away from it, you start to forget what you were doing, you know? And yo, what's up? Happy New Year. 514 is in the house. I wasn't sure if you were going to show up. I know you might still be with friends in Colorado, right? Hope everything's good there. Everything's cooperating with the weather and everything. But yeah, so like the tricky thing about streaming Final Fantasy, right, is like, or playing Final Fantasy in general is, you know, if you forget like the menuing and you forget what you were doing with the characters and everything, and then you try, yeah, no problem. If you got to lurk, that's fine. I appreciate that. But yeah, like, so, you know, you forget what you're doing. Like, for example, you know, you're playing Final Fantasy 6 and, you know, you're getting all these characters set up and they all have to level up to a certain thing. And, you know, you take a month off or something and then you don't play it for a month. You go back and you totally forget what was happening in the story and everything. I don't know if that happens to everybody, but it definitely happens to me. So, point is, Final Fantasy is one of those games where you just got to keep at it. You know, you can't take extended breaks and then come back and expect to get right back into it sometimes. So that being said, my Final Fantasy gaming, I'm gonna limit the amount of new Final Fantasies that I play on stream, and in favor of playing the retro Final Fantasies on stream and experiencing the new Final Fantasies on my own, you know, as I can, offline and stuff, you know. So I guess let's just review the games that we played in 2022, shall we? So let's get that up on the screen here. So the first game that we brought in 2022, back in January, I was playing the Final Fantasy, speak of the devil, Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters, FF5. FF5 was one of the original Final Fantasies. You know, I say original, but what do I mean? It's one of the, you know, the classic Final Fantasies, turn-based pixel art and all that. And it was never available in the United States in English, at least not without like ROM hacks, which eventually I got into. But, you know, as a kid when it was new, I never got to play it. So it kind of just went under my radar, you know. And whenever we talk about what's your favorite Final Fantasy, it's, you know, always, you know, 4, 6, 7, 9, 1. You know, those were all the ones that I had to choose from, right? I played Final Fantasy V on the Pixel Remaster, and I am not exaggerating, that shot up to like almost my favorite. I loved the way it played. So I'm going to talk about it here like it's a new game, because to me it was. I loved the way the game played. I loved the job system that they had. Mind you, this is the Pixel Remaster, so whatever I describe, if it wasn't that way in the original, so be it. I'm just talking about my experience on the Pixel Remaster. And it had an amazing soundtrack. Like, it was like a little bit of like rock, a little bit of, the classical. It was very energetic, very exciting. The final boss, that was Exdeath, right? That was the one with Exdeath. He was the main antagonist. His whole storyline was great. I thought he was a great villain. And the battle system was great. Loved it. Absolutely loved Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster FF5. And that was what we were playing in January, right? And then as soon as we finished that, the next game that came out was Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. So we played that, right? That was just kind of how the year started for us. It was Final Fantasy V, Final Fantasy VI. Same thing, except for the fact that Final Fantasy VI I did play before, so it wasn't a new experience. This is most people's favorite Final Fantasy, and I see why. I understand why, but it's not my favorite. My favorite is still probably 4. But I will say 5, definitely up there. And 6 is a great game. Don't get me wrong. The music is great. The story is great. The balance of, exciting and serious and funny and sad and everything. Perfectly balanced Final Fantasy. I loved all of it. It was great. But it wasn't something new, But the Pixel Remaster was great, and I enjoyed that very much. So after the Pixel Remaster, I went through my playlist, my VOD playlist, to see what we were playing and everything. I did a lot of Doom after that. And I think I can explain why. After Final Fantasy VI, I think I just straight up just played Doom and Community Nights. And the reason I went to Doom and Community Nights, I think I was trying to, kind of reimagine the channel. And then I could, I'll say Doom and Community Nights. We did a lot of Doom and Community Nights, which is great. I didn't hate it. I did not hate that. I have a lot of fun with that. But I will admit it was something I did because my days in the United States were numbered. I was going through the process of immigrating to Europe, and this was around the time that I started having to take time off to do paperwork, and I had to start doing, considering things, getting my kids ready, getting all their stuff ready to transfer out of the schools here, get ready to start school there. It was kind of a weird time. And I figured the easiest way to get through it was to play Doom, which, like I said before, it's one of the easiest go-to games for me. Like, if ever I don't know what to do, I'll play Doom. So I'll play Doom and Community Nights. Community Nights was just what? It was a lot of Mario Kart, some Mario Party. I tried to do Splatoon, but that game never picks up on my channel. I love the game, but it never really takes off for me as a streamer. I think that's one of those games where it's like either you're a Splatoon streamer or you're not, and you're not going to get a Splatoon audience unless you're good and unless you play it a lot, and your current audience may not enjoy watching you play it all the time. So that was kind of that kind of fell off quick, but we still did the Mario Kart and Mario Party, which was fun. Also in Doom, I know the Doom Eternal Horde mode came out. Horde. I played a lot of that. Did that for a couple of weeks. That was a lot of fun. And then after that, I think we did. Oh, I want to do it in chronological order as well. After After that was, I believe we did TMNT, Shredder's Revenge. I played through that. That was a great game. It was kind of like one of the old Turtles arcade games, but just kind of done for the consoles and Steam. And it was fun, and it had multiplayer. So that was featured in a few community nights too. So we played TMNT, Shredder's Revenge. It was very cool. Loved it. So did that. And yeah, I love the soundtrack. It had like kind of it had the 90s rock, or that 90s dude rock that Turtles is known for. But then it also had a little bit of hip hop in it, which I love that because it matched. It really fit in with the game and how it was played and the characters and everything like that. It fit in. It was really good. And of course, it was like 90s style hip hop too. It was like members of the Wu-Tang Clan and a couple of other more modern artists that were influenced by 90s rap. So it had that sound to it. I want to say after Shredder's Revenge, I did a couple more Mario Karts, and then the big move happened. Right? I moved overseas. Oh, there was another one. See, that was another thing here. Here was another couple of games. Let me before I move on. Let's see. That's right. We did also Sonic Origins, right? Let me get rid of that O for copyright reasons. Okay, so we did Sonic Origins. It was basically like a re-release of the original Sonic with a couple extra modes. I think it's Sonic 1 through Sonic and Knuckles with Sonic CD. I don't know if Spinball's on it. I don't think it was, but it was a decent playthrough. I enjoyed it a lot, and I mean that's pretty much it. I think I can't remember now. Man, my memory is so foggy. But the TMNT, yeah, I think so. I think the TMNT Cowabunga collection also was pre-move. I want to skip any of the games that I played pre-move. The TMNT Cowabunga collection. I think I played the arcades, TMNT, the arcade game, and then Turtles in Time. I played those, and then I played the NES TMNT, and I was kind of cocky, thinking I would at least play through it, because I used to speedrun it, and I used to play it all the time and beat the game all the time. But for whatever reason, the past few times I've attempted to play through it, I just can't make it through. So that kind of sucks. Feels bad, man. But you know what? It's still fun. I'd like to try, and I would like to get a full playthrough one of these days again. I think the last big game that I played before the move was Stray. That was the cat game, the post-apocalyptic cat game. I thought that game, the visuals were great. I'm a huge fan of like Blade Runner and like Terminator and those tech noir looking aesthetics, so to speak. So I really got a kick out of that. It was fun, and it was fun to be the cat because it added a different element to the gameplay. You're not running around shooting up people. You're not running around trying to kill anybody. You're just a cat trying to make it from point A to point B. So you're hopping up on air conditioners, climbing up the sides of like apartment buildings and stuff like that. So yeah, I loved it. It was so much fun, and it added a different scale to the game because you're a cat, so you're the size of a cat, right? So it definitely added a different I guess we could say perspective playing as a cat. It was a little bit of a short game, but for me that's good for streaming because my time here is limited, and long games turn into several months long adventures, which is fine, but sometimes you want to get something done, you want that feeling of hey, I finished this, so yeah. Then after Stray, that was when I moved. After Stray, I think I did a couple community nights, and then I said my until next times, and then I moved, and then here I am in Amsterdam, Netherlands. It's crazy. It's a beautiful city. I love it here. I feel like I'm home. I didn't feel like I was at home in New York and New Jersey for quite some time. I had the feeling back in high school that I didn't belong here. I suppressed it because at that time, like, there was really no realistic avenue I saw to get out of it. So I was like, well, you're either gonna be miserable forever, or you're gonna adapt and live your life. So I adapted. I lived my life. I got jobs, and I went to college, and I started a family. Even I started a family, bought a house, and I lived down the Jersey Shore and everything. And I just didn't feel like I was at home. But I was okay with it. And then, of course, the big C happened. Right, the coronavirus. So that happened, and it really just brought everything that made me feel uncomfortable living where I was. It just made it all rise up to the surface. It was like a boiling pot, and everything that I suppressed was just boiling to the top. And I was miserable. I was fearful. I would go on bike rides around my neighborhood trying to stay in shape, just trying to take care of myself. And I'd be riding around and, just looking around the neighborhood, and it's just like I'm not here to get political or nothing, but like just seeing Donald Trump flags everywhere, it was just really uncomfortable because I don't care, like pre 2020, he was, in my opinion, he did a really awful job as president, as like as a representative of our country. He made a fool of us in very large public displays, at like the climate seminars and everything. He would go out, he'd be representing America, and he would just say things like, "Oh, I don't think the scientists know what they're talking about," and things like that. He just didn't represent me at all. But after 2020, in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinion, he just became a complete security risk. And he became a very divisive person, with his, they stole the election, and they're ruining our country, and they being obviously like people that don't vote for him, and it split everybody up, and it's just it really highlighted everything that like I didn't like, and it's really sad because I couldn't ignore it anymore. Like I said, I'd be riding my bike through town and nearly get like run off the road by a gigantic Dodge Ram pickup truck on stilts or whatever, with a bumper sticker in the window that says, "Make liberals cry again, Trump 2024," and stuff like that. And it's like, I can't live like this anymore. You know what I mean? And combine my feelings of like really, really just like wanting to leave with I saw an opportunity. I saw this very rare instance where my want and the company I worked for's needs just synced up perfectly, and I just grabbed it and I just held on, and I was like, I think I'm gonna do this, and it was like, I went through all this stuff. I got myself, they sponsored me to give me a high-skilled workers visa, and they got me, a salary over here that like affords me a decent home and everything, and it's been definitely life-changing, obviously, and everybody is like super happy here. So that's what happened in 2022 after I played Stray. So as you can imagine, when I got here, I spent the first couple of weeks, maybe a month and a half almost. I wasn't streaming, I had other things I wanted to do. I had it in my head that, when I got here, I was going to like tape it. I say tape it. Jesus Christ, I'm an old man. I was going to record it like on my phone or something and like upload it, maybe make a couple of videos of me being a tourist. But then I just kind of lost that desire, and I was like, no, I want to experience this, I bought myself and my family, I bought us bikes. I was like biking through Amsterdam. I biked to work and everything like that, and I did all the Amsterdam stuff. We went to the museum districts. We went and got all the different foods and everything like that. Almost went to the red light district, but not because I wanted to, but because I didn't know where it was, and I walked down a block. I was like, hey, let's just walk through the city. And as I'm walking, I'm looking in the windows. I'm like, ah, shit, we're in the red light district. I just brought my family to the red light district. Great. But the good thing about the red light district is if you just walk away from it, it's gone. It's like, it's not big. It's just this one line of the city, like it's maybe 2 blocks wide, and like maybe the length of like half the inner city. And if you just walk away from it, it's all contained in it. Like there's not a lot going on outside there. But yeah, it's been really cool, and I experienced everything, and I really loved it, and I might still do IRL streams over time. I don't know. I gotta see how I feel about it, and what kind of stuff I can do. I don't want to be walking around with the phone out all the time, but at the same time, it's really fun, and I want to document some of the adventures I have, walking through the city. It's a beautiful city. So that was like the first month or so of living in Amsterdam. And the first game, I believe the first game that I played when I came back was indeed the Luigi run. The annual running of the Luigi, right? We did the Luigi's Mansion full playthrough. I think that was my first stream when I came back to streaming from here. We did a nice playthrough of that. I love the game, still do, and I'll do it again next October. Better believe it. But yeah, that was the first game I played through when we got here. Not much to say about it other than I still love it, and I'll still play it. So it's one of my favorite games of all time. I also bought a copy of it in the region that I live in now, because I'm in PAL region actually. I live in Europe, in Central Europe, and the games are a different region here. I'm still most of the stuff is region free, so I'm still good. And also, I was able to bring my consoles over because I modified them anyway. I had a Japanese Super Nintendo or Super Famicom that I modded, and I had a modded NES and a modded GameCube. So since they were all modded, I was able to just bring them here, and I just have to get a new plug for my GameCube. I hope I could find one, but I'll find like a store here that could still sell that. If not, I'll have to get an adapter, but I would rather just get an actual Nintendo brand plug. But yeah, most of my stuff runs here, man. It's great. I just had to buy a new plug, and everything has been region free and good to go. So I think the first game that I played, the first like new-ish game that I played was Harvestella. That was a game I kind of wanted to get into. I thought it was going to be more of a kind of like an Animal Crossing type scenario where it's like you just sign in every day, do a little bit of, mundane activities and sign off. And I was going to make that a stream game where I would sign in and it would be chill and we'd just play that and that would be it. It turns out I was definitely wrong about the game. It has a very heavy story and a lot of long cutscenes, and unfortunately I just didn't have the drive to play it anymore. I kind of just wanted some stupid game that I could sign in, like I said, something like Animal Crossing or something like that, where I could just sign in, play for an hour and a half with you guys, look at my character, look at my farm, and leave it at that. But instead it's like this cross-dimension, post-apocalyptic, story-based game, and I just wasn't ready for it. And maybe I'll go and revisit it some other time. But as of right now, I just don't see a desire to play it anymore. At least not on stream right now. So then the next thing we did was the Mario Kart, the added tracks. There was new tracks added to Mario Kart. Nintendo announced they're going to do like 60 something new tracks or something like that, and they've been releasing them like 8 at a time. And it's been great. I love it. I love to go online, play with you guys, play with random randos online. Do our thing. It's a lot of fun. The tracks have been great. It's been super exciting, and I'm definitely going to continue with that. That's gonna be an ongoing thing. And then the last game that I attempted to stream was Pokemon Violet. Pokemon Violet, and that game taught me that I don't want to stream Pokemon games anymore. Because the reason being is I like to sit down and play them and kind of do my own thing, and it doesn't make for an interesting stream. Like, I like to get the ghost Pokemon, make a team of ghosts, then I'll get a bunch of all the different starter Pokemon, and I like to do things with it, and I sit in the menu and I'll turn it off, take an hour break, come back, play some more. Can't do that when you stream. You got to sit there and you got to play, and you got to stay engaged and have fun with the community. You got to be entertaining, right? You can't just sit there and be like, oh, I got this many Gengars, and I want this nature Gengar, and I want him to learn these moves, and I'm gonna sit there and just catch Gengars for 2 hours. I mean, I know there are streamers out there that do that, but most of the streamers that do that are like, they have like a gigantic community, and they're all chatting, and it's all like super busy and everything like that. But when it's just me and like 1 or 2 people in the chat, and like I'm doing that, I feel like honestly I'm putting you guys to sleep. Like, I feel like you're not engaged. There's no conversations going on, and it's stale, and I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't want that to be the mood of my stream. I want it to be a little more engaging, you know. So I took Pokemon Violet offline. I've been playing it on my own. I beat all of the gyms. I beat all of the Titan Pokemons, the Titan Pokemons. You know what I'm talking about? And then I beat all except the last Team Star base. So once I beat that, I'm gonna start doing the what is it, the Victory Road stuff, and be champion, and then I guess whatever storylines there are, I'll finish those up and I'll be done. But yeah, so I've been playing that a lot. I've been playing that for a few hours. And this is basically all of my streams for 2022, all nice and neat in a nice neat little package for you. But yeah, so basically, let's see, and so what I've been playing right now offline is I've been playing Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy 1 Origin. Let me tell you something, man. That game got such heavy criticism, but I am loving it. I am absolutely loving the game. I love the story progression. I love the character progression. I love the combat. I love the job system with the job trees. Like, I think it's a really well done game, and all the naysayers out there, I don't understand what the problem is. And I've been finding a lot of that lately is a lot of fans are just hating on their own shit. You know, like all the Pokemon fans are hating Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You know, all the Final Fantasy fans are hating you know, all these spin-off games and stuff like that. I mean, I like Stranger of Paradise more than the FF7 remake. Definitely. I'm enjoying it way more than I enjoyed the FF7 remake. Granted, FF1, I'm one of the very few people who loves the very, very, very first Final Fantasy a lot. That's definitely one of my favorites. And to go back and hear some of the familiar music, see some of the familiar cities, and fight some of the familiar battles is a plus, of course. But beyond that, I think it's just a great game. It's like I don't want to be like one of those guys that every time there's a game that is like a third-person fantasy game with you know, with difficult battles, be like, it's just like Dark Souls. You know, I don't want to be that guy, but it's kind of like, if you do like those games, but like the From Software stuff is just a little bit too sweaty for you. I mean, this is a great game for you. It's got enough Final Fantasy elements so that it's a familiar Final Fantasy game, and it has some of like the cool combat ideas that you get from the Souls-like games, you know. Cool. So, oh, and also another game that I played offline that unfortunately I've been neglecting, Splatoon 3. I gotta play it more, man. I gotta play it more. There's like the salmon runs that I keep missing. I keep missing the Splatfests, and I hate to think that the same thing that happened to Splatoon 2 is going to happen to Splatoon 3, and that's they're going to be wrapping it up, finishing everything, and closing the door on it, sunsetting the game, and I'm going to be showing up like, oh, let's play, and it's like I missed it, you know. I missed the high times, I missed the good years, you know. And I don't want that to happen, so I'm probably going to try and finish up Pokemon and get back into Spleen. I'll try to do some salmon runs or something online on stream, because I would love for that to pick up on the channel a little bit. I would love to play that with you guys, and meet some people that want to play and that, you know, would be a good fit for the community here. Definitely want to see what we can do with that. Now, last but not least, let's talk about the goals for 2023. This is a tough one because I feel like my channel, every time I get a little bit of steam, I get bored with what I'm doing and I want to change it. That's just the type of person I am. And I guess anybody that's been here from the beginning or anywhere along the way, wherever you may have come in, you've probably noticed by now that I like to change it up. I like to change things drastically, suddenly. I'll have an idea in my head of something that I think might be cool, and I'll try it. And if it doesn't work out, I flip back to what I was doing before that was working, you know? It's just kind of what I like to do. I mean, this isn't a job for me. It's a hobby. So I want to keep it fun and I want to keep it interesting. As a result, sometimes you guys might get to see something that you don't want to see. Sometimes you might get to see something that you really like, but then it, you know, gets reversed back to status quo. Or sometimes I'll grab onto something and it sticks and we all have fun and we all enjoy it, you know? So I'm going to start 2023 similar to how I've always done things. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to go back to the retro roots. I want to play. Obviously, I'm gonna play Doom again. I'm gonna start playing Doom again. That's a must. Like the original Doom, I'm gonna do challenge runs. I'm gonna do hardcore WODs. I'm gonna do brutal Doom, stuff like that. I also want to play some of the Final Fantasy classics again. I would like to do a playthrough of Final Fantasy 1 again. That's my favorite in the series. And playing Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger of Paradise, has definitely made me kind of want to go back and play it some more. I've already 100%ed it on Steam. So what I'll probably do is when it comes out, I'm going to... it was announced that it's coming out for the consoles in a couple months. Which, by the way, I got the collector's edition. I was able to order it before it sold out. So I got that. So I'll probably do a playthrough of that on my PlayStation or something, and you know, I'll try to get the platinum trophy. It was the first game that I've ever 100%ed on any of these awards based thing. I don't do that a lot. I don't like to trophy hunt. If I find myself doing something that's tedious in a game, just to get the trophy, I hate it, and I tap out, and I say I'd rather not have a platinum and keep loving the game than get a platinum and you know, finish it on a stale note. Hey, what's up, Ren? How are you doing today? What's up, man? I actually just did a year in review of 2022, and now I'm talking about what we're going to be doing for 2023. So yeah, basically I want to go back to my retro roots. I'm going to play some Doom. I'm going to be playing HNYALR. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to go back to my roots, playing some Doom, do some Doom challenges, maybe try to do a full playthrough in Nightmare again. I did Nightmare once, and it was pretty wild. I would like to see if I could make Lightning Strike twice. Happy New Year, and all right. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't get the. Well, Happy New Year, HNY. Okay, yeah, I get it now. I'm sorry. I'm bad with the TLAs, you know. But yeah, and Happy New Year. It's great to see you. By the way, the fireworks in Amsterdam are absolutely out of control. I have never seen anything like that in my life. Like seriously, like, and I came from a town that loved its fireworks. In the United States, I lived in a town where people were popping fireworks off what I thought was a lot. Here, it literally did not stop for several hours. I could not believe it. But yeah, man. So yeah, we're gonna do the Doom thing. We're gonna do classic Final Fantasy. And then I also want to go back to retro roots. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to speedrunning. Speedrunning kind of is boring to me. It's fun for me to watch other people do it, but when I try to do it myself, I get super bored. I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it as a runner. I can only get into it as a viewer. I like to watch other people do it, which sucks because I'll watch other people do it, get super motivated, try to do it myself, and then I'm like, you know, you remember when you did a speedrun stream, it was so boring. Exactly, right? Like, it's just not for everybody, I guess. I like to watch speedruns all the time. That's almost all I ever watch on Twitch. I watch speedruns, and there's a couple of streamers that I watch that aren't speedrunners that, you know, I find them funny, like Vinesauce and Germa. Watch those guys, but other than that, it's all speedrunners. But yeah, so we're gonna do retro, but maybe not speedruns. I think I want to do another playthrough of the Mega Man Classic series. Get rid of your capture card. I got this Avermedia thing. It costs like, I want to say like €70, and it is so good. It's an Avermedia Gamer Mini. Aver, A-V-E-R, Media, M-E-D-I-A. Gamer Mini, M-I-N-I. It's powered by a USB, and all you need is a USB and 2 HDMI cables, and you're good. I recommend it. But yeah, so I think I'll do a playthrough of the Mega Man series, like 1 to 10, and then maybe 11 again. 11 was a good one, but it was really different. I don't know if I could do that in a single playthrough. I still haven't played through the Mega Man X games either, but I want to play through the classic one first. I want to do some Mario, and I want to do more ROM hacks. Definitely want to do ROM hacks. And then another thing I want to do is I want to start getting back into doing crafts. Like, I want to do like Lego. I did a Lego night once. It was like super fun. I want to do more of those because it was very chill, and I felt like everybody else enjoyed it as well. And then of course the community nights. I definitely want to keep community nights a thing. With Mario Kart, as I said before, Splatoon. We got those Turtle arcade games. A lot of the Nintendo games now on the Switch Online has like multiplayer screen sharing or whatever. Do some of that. And then I want to do something that 514 will like this one, because I think when he first found my stream, I was doing I called it the SNES Classic, which was a playthrough of every game on the SNES Classic. So I want to bring that back, but I want to start with the NES Classic. I want to play through the NES Classic, all the games on there. I'll have a checklist on the side of all the games, and when they're complete, you know, put them up, and yeah, just do it one by one like that. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the year in review. I hope you guys like what I do. I hope you guys enjoy the streams, I would definitely want to keep them coming. Definitely want to keep things fresh always. Want to keep things always exciting. Speaking of exciting, there we go. That's better. Yeah, you know, I want to keep things fresh, keep things exciting, keep things entertaining and engaging. So yeah, we'll keep at it. So with that being said, there's something that I would like to play with you guys right now. And so let me get that fired up.